Welcome to the Getting Off Topic podcast, everybody. Woo!
Yay!
It's
too much,
night.
too much energy, Tony. Tone it down like
That's
half
fair.
a notch.
Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome. That sounds like you're like on
Are we going full? Wait, we don't want to go full NPR here. So
Oh no, that's welcome to the Getting Off Topic podcast on NPR Radio, your Sunday evening edition, where and everybody's instantly asleep. No, hey, we're back, guys. Thank you for joining. It's seriously been a solid month since we recorded last.
Hey, we've all been busy.
it's
Yes.
been a lot.
Life has happened. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Oh God. How y'all doing? How's life? And whatever. Todd, what's going on?
Not much. Just sitting back and enjoying all of the nerddom, the Trek shows that are out, the video games that are all happening right about now. A lot of stuff going on in the nerdverse.
Indeed.
Stuff and things.
Mhm.
Andrew, how about you?
About the same. Doing pretty well. Almost done with Forbidden West. Pretty awesome game. They've added some cool stuff onto the original. Watching some different shows, getting caught up with a couple interesting new franchises. So yeah, been good.
Sweet. Yeah, same with
How
us.
about
We finally started, now that they're all on Paramount Plus, actually. We started a Screamathon. We went through the first 3 movies so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are there 6 now?
There are 5. A 6th one has been announced, which was going to be one of my headlines I was going to talk about.
Yeah, apparently 4 did so well, or 5 did so well that
Yeah.
6 is going to come right away.
They already announced it, and I think just this past week they announced a release date, like June next year or something. And Courtney Cox has signed on again. Don't know about everybody else. Oh, March 31st next year.
Oh wow.
That's quick. So they must already be filming for that.
Maybe.
Sounds like it.
Or gonna start filming soon. They still hold up. I only saw I've seen the first 2 like multiple times way back in the day and still enjoyed them. Forgot how good number 2 was, actually. That was a lot of fun. 3 I only saw once in the theaters when it came out. I remember nothing from it. And it's fine.
There's a reason why it didn't really stick with you.
It has its moments. It gets really overly meta. I mean, that's the point of the Scream franchise, is poking fun at like the whole genre and poking holes into it while still creating a fun slasher story. But the 3rd one is when
It jumps the shark a bit.
they go to Hollywood, because the in-universe version of the franchise, like, because the actual events happen, the Woodsboro murders and everything with Sydney and everything, and then in-universe movies get made based on that. It's the Stab series.
That's right.
So in Scream 3, they're in Hollywood filming Stab 3, and then murders start to happen around the movie set. And so
Isn't like the opening scene, isn't it in a theater and somebody gets stabbed in the bathroom or something like that?
that's part 2 with
that's part 2.
Jada Pinkett and whoever her boyfriend was bite it, like in the opening.
That they make fun of during Scary Movie, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that was another thing. Like rewatching these, especially the first 2, I was remembering the Scary Movie versions. So I'm sitting there like,
I got you. You on candid camera.
but I'm watching it and laughing because when her boyfriend, whoever the actor was in the 2nd one, gets stabbed through the bathroom stall in Scary Movie, it was a glory hole, and he gets stabbed through the head with a dick.
Yeah.
Classy stuff. Parker Posey. Oh, what's up?
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, just the last little bit. We only got through 3 so far. We still have to cover 4 and 5 sometime this week. But in the 3rd one, upside to number 3, Parker Posey is one of the movie cast for Stab 3. She plays like the movie version of Gail Weathers, Courtney Cox, and she's bugging Courtney Cox through the whole thing. And she's like, Parker Posey. I forgot how hilarious she is. But I remember, Todd, you mentioning that I need to watch that Lost in Space Netflix series because
she
really
plays
good in that.
she plays the female Dr. Smith.
Yeah, cool. Other than that, we've been crashing at night. Like usually we find a cartoon or something light to watch before bed. So lately that's been Gravity Falls. We're finally getting on, which is
So good, right?
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys recommended it to us.
Yeah.
It's one of the series where it's like there aren't really any bad episodes. I could put any of those on and I'll enjoy whatever I watch.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah. I
A
actually
new spin-off of Big Mouth just came out.
Yeah, I did see that on Netflix here. I'm cautiously optimistic with that. I'm wondering if they go like will they go overboard with all like the shticky monster humor? Like, I don't know. Sometimes they remix those shows and it's like, oh, the original formula works better, but I don't know. I haven't watched it at all yet, so I can't say shit. Have you checked it out yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Just been watching way too much random shit.
Yeah. Well,
one show I wanted to bring up this session was, have you guys heard of Severance at all?
Yes.
I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, I'm caught up with that one, and it is a very interesting series. I think especially, being maybe ex-cubicleites, as I am, you guys might really take interest in it, as it kind of follows and has a definite scope of, that kind of whole old office paradigm. But it's a really interesting take on kind of office life and kind of a big company and what a little cog in the wheel is doing there. So
yeah, so if the bits, I mean, I don't want
concept looks really cool from the trailers.
Yeah, and I don't want you to give away anything because we definitely want to watch it. But Adam Scott is part of this company. They erase your memory in between like going to and leaving work, so you're leading 2 different lives, but neither one knows what the other one does.
Yeah, basically the job that he's doing, there's such a high level of clearance that in order to get the position, you have to go through an elective procedure where your personality or persona is split. So there's the you that stays at work 100% of the time, and a whole separate personality is the you outside of work, which I think is kind of oddly fitting for even just real world life. Like I'm not the same person at home that I am in the office.
Yeah,
but it's a weird take because the office person, they're just in the office. That's all they do. They're at work, and there's no cross between. So it's a weird take on that. And then the company is really kind of a cool concept, without giving anything away. It's just a weird sort of multi-conglomerate thing that he's a part of, and what can they reach out and do. So I have really enjoyed it so far.
Nice. Apple TV is the last major streaming service that has not gotten my money yet, but damn it, between that and like Mythic Quest I want to check out.
Ted Lasso is one of my favorites too, so I highly
Lasso.
recommend that one. The first or both seasons even have been really solid.
Yeah, everybody in the known universe has recommended Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, some cool stuff we can jump into really quick. Todd, are you all cut up on Trek?
I have not watched the final episode of Discovery, but I have watched all of Picard.
Okay.
But I did get spoiled of the cameo on Trek, so that was cool.
That was kind of fun, and made conservative head spin everywhere.
Yeah, that
Stupid.
It was hilarious watching the fallout to that.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Yeah. Andrew, were you gonna say something?
Oh, just also real quick thing. So you guys mentioned, watching a cartoon. Has anyone seen the Cuphead cartoon yet on Netflix?
Yes.
Love it.
Meg and I flew through that. That was so much fun.
We got the theme song like stuck in our head for
it's lit. That is a fire song 100%. Like I'll watch an episode and it'll be going through my head the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Music
go to
in
sleep.
Cuphead in general was good.
Yeah.
Trying to go to sleep at night. If you're looking for fun, if you're looking for fun, wake up the next morning, still in your head.
I got the heebie-jeebies. Oh man, it's still there.
Yep.
And I guess second season has already been announced for this June, I think, is when it's coming out. So that's really cool.
I'm super stoked for that. It's just fun, lighthearted, wacky.
It feels like a throwback to like the Looney Tunes or something. Like I watched it with my young girls even because it's so like it's just a fun cartoon, nothing too crazy.
I mean that's the whole. Yeah, that's what the video game, they were inspired by was the old like early Merry Melodies, or like even the Max Fleischer stuff. Who he did like the Betty Boop cartoons and stuff. Anything with people just wobbling, dancing in place, whatever they're doing, like painting a fence and dancing in place, all that. Flowers and the sun with faces on them and wobbling and
Well, I really liked the devil in it. The devil kind of reminded me of him from the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Apparently it's voiced by an English comedian that Shannon really likes too. So
nice.
That was a kind of fun coinkydink.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that again. We also started rewatching. Sorry, we'll get back to Trek really quick, but we also started rewatching because, in light of recent events, we just global and political, or global and personal. I mean, we just needed like something lighthearted, and we ended up randomly rewatching Pushing Daisies. Did you ever watch?
I never saw that one. No.
Oh, it's a good. I mean, it's hard to say because some people are like, oh, it's too weird for me, but it's
definitely requires a special taste, I think.
That's the one where the young girl dies and is put into like a Grim Reaper sort of position, right?
No, different.
Okay.
I think there was a very short-lived show, like one season called Reaper, actually.
I loved Reaper. Reaper was awesome.
Yeah. But no, Pushing Daisies, Brian Fuller created it. He did, and he's all over the map. He was on Heroes. I think he did some of the Trek stuff at the beginning of Discovery. He did Hannibal, which is very dark. But he also does very fanciful shit. And this is Pushing Daisies. Was like his own personal brainchild. Lasted 2 seasons and then unfortunately got canceled. But everything about it, like the production, everything, the setting, it's all very fairy tale storybook like there's a narrator narrating over stuff. And it starts off with his 9-year-old kid, Ned. He discovers that he has the power to bring things back to life. Like at the very beginning, like it's showing him and like his childhood sweetheart, and they're hanging out and playing in the front yards. And that day, his mom like collapses and like instant like aneurysm or something. But he tries to grab her, and suddenly she's awake again. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I think the same thing happens with his dog. But then he finds out that if he touches someone again that he brought back, then they're dead again forever. So it's like it's a give and take sort of thing. And by bringing back life to someone or somebody, it takes away life from somewhere else.
If they're alive for more than a minute.
Yeah.
You've got like 1 minute leeway there.
Yeah. So it's
that moral decision. And then So is it somebody that you know that dies, or is it a random person at somewhere in the world?
Proximity sort of thing?
It's random, but the value is like equal to or less than. So for example, if he brings a bird back, chances are it's only going to be another bird or squirrel or small animal. Yeah. So if it's a human, it's obviously going to be a larger prey. Yeah. So it's going to be another human, but it's so random. It could be anybody within the vicinity.
Yeah. So that gets him into trouble. And then it flashes forward to, I'm not spoiling the whole show or anything. This all happens at like episode 1. Flashes forward to the present where he's grown up. He like owns a pie shop and everything's cheery and hunky dory, but he has this secret, and he helps a detective solve murders, because it's easy to find out who solved the murder when you can go to the morgue, touch somebody and say, hey, who killed you? And then the high school sweetheart, or the childhood sweetheart comes back, and it's very like lovey-dovey and fairy tale like, but also with this like weird dark humor twist. It's one of the shows that I will always highly recommend to anybody. Give it a shot.
I enjoy it, but I probably don't care for it as much as Tony does, but it's still a fun show.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Yep. Anyway. Yeah. So, Trek. Yeah. So they just finished season 4 of Discovery. Great stuff. Picard season 2 is a couple episodes in.
Oh man.
Amazing.
Picard, season 2 is probably the best Trek has put out in like 5 or 6 years.
Oh wow!
Like Picard season 2 is top notch, and I was a fan of Picard season 1. I wasn't one of the negative people with season 1, but season 2 is just like leveled up the game so much higher.
Yeah, I think season 1 it took a little bit for them to find their footing. I found the whole thing interesting, but I understand there were like some, I don't know, kind of weird highs and lows there. But season 2, like they waste zero time. It's just immediately boom, here's the mission. Like shit's going down, without spoiling anything for anybody. But yeah, that's probably the thing I'm most excited for currently on air right now. But yes, we got the news of since we last podcast, we got a trailer for Strange New Worlds finally.
Oh yeah.
And then just a few days ago, I think the announcement that they're going to have, they have casted a Kirk but I think he's not going to show up till season 2.
Yeah, so he's filming currently for season 2.
Yeah,
so he's already filmed some, but he is filming for season 2.
Yeah, Paul Wesley, who I'm not familiar with, but I guess he was on the Vampire Diaries show. I don't know.
I mean, he does have the Kirk-ish look, so he's got the look.
Yeah, we do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Shatner gave him his like blessing online. Yeah, it looks like it'll be fun. Strange New Worlds, especially the trailer. It like I love Discovery and Picard, and they're very like serious Trek, like the world is coming to an end. But if the trailer is accurately portraying what they're going to show, like the vibe they're going to have on Strange New Worlds, it's like good old fun episodic. Let's travel back in time and ride horses this week just for the fuck of it.
and that's how they pitched the series originally when they announced all the spin-off, the 15 spin-offs that they were working on. Yeah. It's like, we all know that the world-ending threats are super fun and thrilling and exciting, but we also know that the core of Trek was getting out there and exploring and having our episodic week to week
and banging as many aliens as we can. Getting in fights with Gorn and having our shirt ripped off as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That'll be fun. And Anson Mount, Rebecca Romaine, and I forget who the guy is that plays Spock in that one, but he's did a really good Spock in Discovery season 2. Oh, cool. Anyway, that'll be good stuff. And speaking of all kinds of spin-offs, this is just something I heard today. Well, first off, I've been hearing from everybody who's gone and seen it that the Batman is spectacular.
It's a visual medium, so no one can see, but I have 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
2 major thumbs up. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm still like iffy about theaters. I don't know. I mean, we've definitely loosened up on our like COVID protocols, but still trying to be safe and, taking everything as it comes. But also, I mean, I know it's going to be great, but I have a hard time sitting in a theater these days for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was a little rough, especially because at times it's like, okay, does this like need to be this long? They could have cut it down to less than 3 hours, I'll just say, without giving anything away. But it was still like, it just could have been paced a little bit differently is all.
I saw a friend of mine after he went and saw it last week. He posted on Facebook, like, theaters, just get rid of the 30 minutes of trailers. We see them all online anyway, and reintroduce intermission.
Yeah.
So we could go to the bathroom or grab some popcorn or whatever we need to do and actually enjoy ourselves instead of squirming and having to hold on for dear life, before we have to run the bathroom.
I don't mind that at all, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I'm closer to 40 than I am closer to anything else, an intermission sounds delightful.
I can just imagine though in like certain movies, like, swear to me, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to kind of a mood breaker, depending. But
I love it. I think that would enhance the experience.
Yeah.
Swear to me. Oh, geez. Oh, there was I told you the other night, Andrew, but Todd, I don't know if you've seen it. There's like TikToks going around or Instagram reels, or it's hard to tell the difference anymore because they share everything. Yeah. But there's some dude out there with a Batman costume who's making a series of little videos online where it's like the victim's point of view, the perspective shot. So you see somebody like walking down the street and their heart's thumping. You hear a heart thumping, doom, 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 and they do something stupid like let their dog take a crap in on the lawn or something in a park, and then he turns and the POV flashes over to Batman there all pissed off. He's like, pick up your shit, and starts wailing on the guy. And there was like another one where some guy like hops in a swimming pool, like hotel swimming pool. He does like a little mini dive. He's in there having fun, but here, doom, 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 doom. And it's as soon as he surfaces on the side, you see Batman standing there. And right by his boots, there's the sign that says no diving. So Batman, no diving, beats the shit out of him. There's a bunch of them. But anyway, so Batman is killing it in theaters. And apparently the HBO Max has now greenlit a limited series, a continuation with the Penguin. Originally, I think a few months back, or back in like December, it was announced that, I'm not sure if it was officially announced or there was just rumors and hearsay that they were working on a Penguin like show extension already, but it was originally envisioned to be like a prequel story. And I guess they scrapped that, and now they officially confirmed it's going to pick up where the movie left off, and his like continued rise to crime to be like the Penguin that we know.
That makes sense because at the end of the movie, he's kind of in prime position.
Yes, he's going to morph into Danny DeVito.
Yes. I mean, Colin Farrell and the makeup team were amazing on that movie. Like, you can barely even tell it's him. Like, it's, if I didn't know, I wouldn't have guessed. So it's very convincing. It's very cool.
Yeah, those final trailers definitely sold me. I was like, holy crap! It looks like it could have been like almost like De Niro, with just a bit of makeup on. But yeah, it was really cool. I also saw something that, again, it might be rumored, but The Batman, the movie, might be coming sooner rather than later to HBO Max. There was some reports saying late April. So,
wow.
Yeah, HBO, I think, is sticking with the strict 45 days. So they're going to get quickly after HBO movie premieres in theaters.
Oh, cool.
That's interesting. I was surprised. I guess what the latest Spider-Man's already going to be available for download and sale, I think, this Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's all kinds of like staggered out. I think just this week it already came out for digital purchase. Okay. So you can buy the digital release for like $20. Okay. And then like mid-April or so, you can get the disc copies.
Okay.
And then they haven't even announced when it's going to actually push out to regular streaming.
Yeah, same thing. Well, same thing went on with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, for a while now, it was you could rent it, and then you could purchase it digitally, and then I think the physical copies came out like a couple weeks back or something like that.
Oh. Yeah, and now it's available for like digital rental. I think not free streaming, but you can rent it at like a rental, like $5 or $6 price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's all Sony. I think they take they stagger it out more. Like we actually got all primed to watch Let There Be Carnage a few nights ago, like last week or something, and even like went on YouTube and found just a quick synopsis, overview of like what you need to remember from the first movie from Venom, and you're like, okay, we're ready to go. Because I could have swore I saw it on the HBO Max menu like a week prior, but I couldn't find it anywhere, or at least without having to pay a rental fee. I was like, let me end up watching something else.
It was good. I'm glad I saw it once. I don't know if I'll be super keen on watching any more of it, but
Yeah, we were pleasantly surprised by the first one. I'm not going to say it's like the most intelligent superhero film, but it was solid.
yeah, entertaining.
Yeah, the Sony side of the MCU is not blowing people away. So
I'll watch Venom 2, and I'll watch Morbius.
I'm hearing
Let's see how we go.
that one's getting some pretty low to negative reviews.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that turns out, because the release is coming up pretty quickly, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like currently, I don't know if I'd go to theaters for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to theaters. I'll stream it somehow. Over on the Amazon side, this was like the big like film news this week. Amazon just sealed the deal. They've bought out MGM.
Oh, that's right.
One of the longest standing studios in Hollywood. Which means they're probably going to be able to have all of their content pretty soon, which, I mean, that includes the entire James Bond franchise. I mean, that alone. I think it was, I lost the article, but it's something like I want to say it was like 1,700 or 4,000 films or something, and thousands of hours of television and whatnot under MGM. All of James Bond, Robocop, the entire Rocky franchise, and Rocky and Creed, which they're still making a third one. Yeah.
Was MGM Jaws? I'm trying to think. No, it's Universal.
No.
That was Universal.
Yeah, okay.
Stargate, so that could be a help or a hindrance for the new Stargate shows that they're trying to relaunch.
Ooh.
Stargate was MGM, yeah. People were speculating, like, are they going to try to make a series now, a little spin-off series, or just series versions of all these classic franchises? They could potentially have a Bond show.
Well, the rights hold Bond is a little complicated because they're the estate of the Bond author. I can't remember what it is, but
it's like Albert Broccoli Productions or something.
Yeah, they are firmly no against any kind of series.
Oh, okay.
They're like, Bond is 100% an event
Ian
film.
Fleming?
Ian Fleming, yeah. Albert Broccoli, I think, is the long-running producer of
wasn't sure who
franchise, but yeah, Ian Fleming was wrote the original novels.
So it's unlikely that, unless there's something special going on with that a TV series would come from Bond. But I mean, it's not impossible, but it's unlikely.
Yeah. Oh,
But
MGM
that could fast track more films,
yeah.
which it's kind of up in the air right now that Craig is out.
Yeah, he's done. MGM owns
We need
Silence.
to get a female Bond in there.
There you go. I thought there were. Well, I still haven't seen the latest one, but I think there was rumors that they're leaning in that direction. Like the story kind of sets it up
Maybe then
that
I'll
way.
finally watch them.
There you go.
Weren't there some 00 agents who were female in the last one or two? I thought I haven't
Yeah.
seen
The Bond chick with him was a 00 agent.
Cool.
Mhm.
I can't remember her name. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. More than 4,000 movie titles and 17,000 TV episodes. MGM is rife with IP, now giving Amazon access to such classics as the Rocky movie franchise, Silence of the Lambs, which there's been a dozen iterations of that. Also, Legally Blonde. Robocop.
You were talking about like funny TikTok clips and stuff that was going around. There is a TikTok clip that was a cut of the Legally Blonde interrogation scene and a few, I think it's A Few Good Men.
Yeah, with Nicholson.
Yeah,
Nicholson,
with Jack
on the stand.
Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Oh, it is so good, and it's just her pressing with the gun thing, and it's
The
just,
perm. How he
Yeah.
should know the perm because he gets perms.
That's funny.
Oh,
It's actually
also, I don't know if you guys ever saw this. It was on Reddit forever ago, but I guess there's a fan-made production of Robocop that's just off the walls. The one scene I saw was where Robocop is stopping a sex offender from assaulting a woman by shooting off his dick. And then a multitude of sex offenders just start showing up, and just dick after dick gets blown off one after another. If I can find it, I'll try to send it to you because it had me literally almost crying.
that's the RoboCop reboot we need.
There you
Yes.
go.
Oh God, it was funny. I'm gonna see if I can find it right now.
That's great. Also in the headlines, it was a little old, but I thought this was cool. There's rumors of Amazon developing a God of War series.
nice.
Oh,
It'd be cool. Yeah. Over in the land of the MCU, this past month we got all of our Defenders officially came over to Disney Plus,
mhm.
transitioned
Yes.
over from Netflix.
All of
And-
them, and uncensored too. Like they
Yeah,
didn't change anything.
Yeah,
Did you
there
guys
was.
have to change your account to a mature, a TVMA rating at all?
I haven't seen any notices pop up, but
Okay.
yeah.
I had to
Maybe.
visit, like they had me like during login, like go through and verify that I was okay with seeing everything that they've been adding, and having it be the adult preferences.
Yeah, give me all that.
You have like
smut.
multiple profiles set up, one for you and one for the kids.
Yeah, which is probably
Okay.
why. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. There was also supposedly hints that a Daredevil continuation or reboot may be in the works. There's a production magazine called Production Weekly, which gives like listings of pre-production or in-production projects for film professionals. And there was a section in the latest issue that for a show that was just simply referred to as Daredevil Reboot. So they're doing something. We know, of course, they've made clear that Charlie Cox remains the MCU Daredevil. Question is, are they just going to straight up reboot the storyline or try to keep the previous events? Deborah Ann Wool was online saying she would love to return as Karen Page. Of course, we all would love her to come back, but who knows what they're going to do story-wise.
That cast was so perfect. Like it was so good. Like they don't need to change anything. They could just bring all of them back and just whether they want to continue or start over, like it'd just be so good.
Yeah.
Literally, the entire Defenders universe cast was perfect, with the exception of one person.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Correct. Yeah.
We
We'll
won't
see.
talk about that one, but
yeah, we really need to talk about that one.
We don't talk about that, Bruno.
nope.
But yeah, it is looking highly likely that we will see some, if not a lot, of our favorite of Defenders coming back.
Yeah.
Cool.
I am excited.
Mhm.
Did you catch the trailer for Miss Marvel?
I haven't seen that one yet. No.
Saw that earlier today. That looks fun. It's got a this looks like the first one that is geared a little more towards young people. I mean, the character Kamala Khan, she's what, like middle or high school or something?
Yeah,
I
I think
think
she's
high
high
school.
school.
Yeah, but there's a very young vibe to it. There's kind of a Scott Pilgrimish vibe to it, like because she's off in her like escapist world, like daydreaming during school and whatnot. And there's like there's superimposed like notebook scribbles, like when she sees her, the guy she has a crush on, and he's all like, there's like sparkly outlines to him and stuff like that.
It definitely reminds me of the first Spider-Man and also Marvel Runaways. Not a lot of people watched that one, but that was one of the Hulu Marvel shows.
Oh yeah, I never
It
caught that
was-
one.
It was pretty good. I liked it. But
Okay.
yeah, definitely the youth vibe going.
Youths.
Them youths.
Youths.
speaking of a youth vibe, has anyone here seen Turning Red yet?
Oh,
Yes.
Meg watched it. I caught the tail end of it, but she watched it.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
liked
it
it.
phenomenal? Did you like it, Meg?
I liked it. I
Oh.
probably don't like it as much as the hype is surrounding it, but
Okay.
I appreciate a lot of what they did in the film.
Mhm.
My biggest gripe with it is the whole trope of you hitting puberty and suddenly you turn into like this monster, which is a metaphor for your period. It's like fucking ginger snaps all over again, you know?
It's Disney ginger snaps.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of like over that
Yeah.
like
Trope.
literalization of it all, you know,
Uh.
where you turn into a beast or a monster or whatever the fuck it is. And
Gotcha. Now I get that. What I liked the most about honestly was just the animation and the art on it was just
Yes.
so I felt incredibly. It's like the best I've ever seen from Pixar. You know, you look back at 1996 when Toy Story first came out, and you're like, this is phenomenal. And you look back
Yeah.
now, it's
Oh yeah, it was
Nothing for its
beautiful. I
time.
loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite part was like the whole boy band scene part of
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I just like the little things. Like, at one point she's like furiously drawing in her notebook, and you can see like the sweat and the change in her demeanor and stuff. And it looks so accurate and just so well done. So it was nothing else. Like that's what I liked more than even the storyline or anything. It was just like the computer animation and the style and what they did.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was good, but I'm not like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this movie, like plastering it all over Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, no, definitely not that.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Cool. One more. This was a really fun article that made me happy. Came out about a week ago. Kevin Feige talking up Doctor Strange 2. Specifically saying that this movie is going to make Evil Dead 2 fans very happy.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
I am so looking forward to this. This is going to be fucking bonkers.
Because
The
they
more I
said it's going to be more of a horror movie, even, right? Did I hear at one point? I wonder if that's still going to be at all.
Yeah, it's definitely. So there was a lot of talk about that because, well, when the first director left, Scott Derrickson, who he did the first movie, he did Scott,
Okay.
and he has a horror background. He did the Possession one, I think. I forget, that one Possession one.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely done like intense horror stuff previously, and when he started work on Strange 2, I remember him being vocal about injecting more of that, the creepy vibes, how Doctor Strange 2, the storyline was meant to, it's called Multiverse of Madness for a reason. You're supposed to get into the dark corners of the multiverse and start to inject more of that into the MCU, which ties in with Moon Knight, and that whole psychological thriller angle we got there, and the brutality of Moon Knight that Kevin Feige.
Strange himself as a character has always been involved in the darker side of Marvel.
Right. Yeah.
So
it all made sense, but then Scott Derrickson leaves due to creative differences. And people are wondering, like, oh, maybe he wanted to go like too hard, like into the horror, and Marvel, Disney didn't like that or something. And Kevin Feige addressed that as well. He was like, no, it was creative differences, but it wasn't like, he was, too spooky for us or something. And Scott Derrickson on his side, he said there was another personal project that he was going to do. Like he had like scheduling conflicts. It was like either do Strange 2 or do this other one that you've been wanting to do, which is more in the horror angle. And he ended up going that direction once him and the Marvel creative differences started to happen. He's like, well, I could still do Strange 2, but it's not going to be the version that I really want to do. So I'm going to go do this other thing, which is my own baby, to do. So that's what happened. And then they brought in Sam Raimi because they know he can deliver the horror and also the lighthearted, like superhero fare. And in this latest interview with Feige, he was like, he said like Evil Dead 2 fans are going to be happy. It's like, this is a quintessential Sam Raimi movie, and that's how they wanted it. Like he said, they even gave him notes when they brought back, they were screening some of the initial action sequences that were completed. And he was like, this action is cool. Like, okay, you're competing definitely with like Avengers and Spider-Man level, no problem. But don't forget the Sam Raimi part. Like, make it more you. So that's cool. That's encouraging. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Looks good.
Just want to know what our Bruce Campbell cameo is going to be.
Right. He'll be on the council of the what is it?
He could be
The
the new Black
Illuminati.
Bolt, maybe.
The what?
The new Black Bolt on the Illuminati.
There you go.
I actually heard rumors that they might actually bring Anson Mount back for that.
It's a
Okay.
mount or
Yeah, he
The
was in
TV
the
show?
Inhumans,
Yeah.
the Marvel TV show that nobody fucking watched.
It really
oh,
had like
right.
3 episodes, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're itching to bring that part of their TV verse into.
They're not itching, but there's elements like him. He was fine, but like the overall show was fucking garbage. But like they could bring back elements of that and some of the cast, and it would be fine.
All right. Yeah, see, I won't hold my breath for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be amazing or anything like that. It would be an interesting nod, and they're keeping a good actor for it. So
Yeah, okay. All right. Here's a fun one. Here's a fun bit of casting. Mandalorian season 3.
oh
Just
yes,
scored themselves a Doc Brown. We're getting Christopher Lloyd joining season 3 of The Mandalorian.
I just read that he was joining something else too.
He is officially part of the Star Wars universe. It's billed as a guest starring role, so it'll probably just be a quick little thing, kind of like Stephen Root in the Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, no details as to who the actual character is. But that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Todd, I thought you might be interested in this one. Weren't you watching that Walker reboot show?
I was, but I got bored of it.
Oh, okay.
I
All right,
couldn't
never
watch
mind
it
then.
anymore. Yeah, it was just too generic. And the only cast member that I liked on it was his partner, and like apparently she leaves at the end of the season
okay.
or in the beginning of the second season.
Okay. Well, apparently they're getting good viewing numbers because now they're doing a spinoff, Walker Independence, and Kate McNamara is going to star in that one. She was the Green Arrow's daughter in Arrow, the grown up version.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked her character. I was bummed that they didn't end up going with that spinoff series, Green Arrow and the Canaries. But anyway. Oh, there is several bits of news on the fantastic Harley Quinn show. Number one, Harvey, fuck up his last name. I'm the worst Mexican ever. Harvey Guillen, who is Guillermo on What We Do in the Shadows.
Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah. He is going to voice Nightwing on Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, a little while ago, it was announced he signed on to the Blue Beetle movie at DC Warner Brothers, so that's cool. Also, fun little thing, James Gunn is going to cameo as himself, James Gunn, on Harley season 3.
Nice.
He's going to appear on there in the middle of directing a movie about Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's dad.
Okay.
Yep. Also, there was a little update, just a quick tweet that everybody thought was hilarious from the showrunner, Patrick Schumacher. A few days back, he was like, well, I'm headed back into the studio to record sex noises for Harley Quinn season 3. Life feels normal again.
Yeah. Back on that sex noise grind.
Yeah. And lastly, they are actually developing a spin-off series starring Kite Man
Nice.
at HBO Max. It's going to be, it's called Noonans, which centers around Kite Man owning iconic Gotham villain hangout, Noonan's Bar. Basically, he ends up running the bar. He tries to run it himself, but it doesn't turn out so easy, hijinks ensue. It's just a reason to have a bunch of villains hang out together and
A coterie of supervillains, if you will.
yes. See, Schumacher said we have Harley and Ivy appear in the first episode, but after that we have different goons and villains appearing every episode, like Lex Luthor and Bane. It's basically Cheers for supervillains.
I mean, everybody knows their names, so
Yeah.
perfect.
So that sounds fun. In development right now. I don't know if they'll go forward or not, but I could see that doing well. Okay, Andrew, earlier you were making mention of the insane peak we got at Mike Myers making a comeback.
Yep, and at least 3 roles, I believe.
On Netflix.
I think it was more than that.
I think the total is 8.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it or?
In the Pentaveret, where the 5 wealthiest people control everything in the world, including the media, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the Vanderbergs, Colonel Sanders before he went tits up.
You just memorized the trailer already?
I mean, I love.
No, that's from How I Met.
How I Met Your
So I
Mother.
Married-
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother.
So
I Married an Axe
Murderer.
Murderer.
Yeah, so
Right.
this is all in the So I Married an Axe Murderer cinematic universe, apparently, where, the trailer sets a great, intro of these 5 people who were cast out and instead went and used their powers for good. And, it looks ridiculous and hilarious, and I am all aboard right now because it's going to be a series, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
It's a limited series, 6 episodes.
Okay.
So just a short story, but
All I want from it is a cameo of Mike Myers' character's brother, and just heed pants no.
He's gonna cry himself to sleep on his giant pillow tonight.
His head is like Sputnik, spherical and pointy in places.
Shh, get the boy complex. That's a huge noggin. It's a virtual planetoid. Has its own weather system.
Oh, I went too far there, didn't I? He'll be crying himself to sleep. So good.
On his massive pillow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Head, paper, no! Move that melon of yours, get the paper if you can. Hauling that gargantuan cranium about. Okay, we're done. So Mike Myers, 6-episode Netflix comedy series, The Pentaveret. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Pentaveret.
Pentaveret. Playing off the number 5 from the title in a big way for its release plans. Since joining Instagram a week ago, Myers had been teasing the first trailer with images prominently featuring the number. This morning, it was from a few days ago, deadline. The account posted the teaser at 5:55 a.m. Announcing that the Pentaveret will debut on 5/5, May 5th.
Damn, there's a lot of shit coming out in May.
Yeah. Jeremy Irons was the narrator. I picked up immediately,
Yes.
okay, I'm in. I'm immediately in. The rest of the cast, Mike Myers plays 8 roles. Jennifer Saunders, who, if you're familiar with some like British comedies, she was on Ab Fab back in the day. Absolutely fabulous. She has 2 roles herself, along with Ken Jeong, Keegan-Michael Key, Debbie Mazar, Richard McCabe, and Lydia West.
Is it weird that this whole time you keep saying Mike Myers and I'm thinking of Michael Myers? And I'm thinking, how is he in a comedy show?
Yeah. So I guess one of the main, the main, if there is one, Mike Myers' character is a Canadian journalist who finds himself on this mission to uncover the truth about this secret society, the Pentaveret, and possibly save the world himself. And that's pretty much all we know so far, but it looks bananas. I'm going to watch the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. I hope he hits it on the mark, because I remember right after Austin Powers was over, he tried to keep doing the disguise thing with like the love guru, and that was a disaster.
Wasn't quite there.
And that Meg, that joke you just made, that reminds me of one of my favorite bits in Baby Driver.
Yeah.
where they're going to do the heist and they're pulling out masks for the heist, and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be Michael Myers
Uh-huh.
masks,
Right.
but they had to use Mike Myers. The reason why is they legitimately couldn't get the rights for Michael Myers, so last minute they used the Austin Powers masks.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
was a
that's
good-
funny.
That was funny.
That's great. Oh, let's see. Oh, over in the land of Star Wars, we did flashback maybe a week or two back. We got the Obi-Wan trailer.
The first Obi-Wan trailer, yeah.
Yeah. We've got Ewan McGregor looking fantastic. We've got baby Luke, or I don't know, what would you say, like 8-year-old Luke Skywalker over on
Yeah,
the-
he's kid Luke.
yeah. Looking like he's pretending to pod race. So everybody on the internet is like, oh shit, here we go again. But yeah, it looks cool. It starts off, of course, Obi-Wan expectedly on hiding out on Tatooine, just kind of keeping a distant eye out for young Luke, making sure nothing happens. But then the rest of the trailer smash cutting to all kinds of craziness, clearly on other worlds. It looks like there's probably some Coruscant business. There is the Sith Inquisitor, big baddie
Yes.
from the Rebels era.
We actually got two of them. We got the Grand Inquisitor and I think the second brother or something like that.
Yeah. Confirmed Hayden Christensen is back as Vader. I did see an interesting article today that apparently the show went through a massive rewrite.
Yeah,
because-
the rewrite, reshoot, they actually shot a lot of footage and had to dump a lot of it, and they did reshoots. That's why it's been delayed for so long.
yeah.
'Cause this was
delayed
actually
because-
supposed to come.
Oh, go ahead.
This was scheduled to come out like at the beginning of last year, and it
Yeah.
had so many reshoots that that's why it's delayed this long.
Yeah, I do remember hearing back then that the pre-production paused in early 2020 because apparently Lucasfilm was not happy with the scripts coming out, and
It was
so they
too
kind of
dark.
retooled everything. A recent report from the Hollywood Reporter, they were saying, according to their sources, that actually Darth Maul was written out of the show.
Aw.
Yeah, and supposedly actor Ray Park was in active prep to reprise the role and everything. They were like good to go. Now the sources are saying that what happened was when initially they said previous that Lucasfilm was unhappy with the scripts. Deborah Chow, the showrunner, handed the scripts over to Filoni and Favreau to have a look over. And at that point, they had launched The Mandalorian season 1 successfully and were deep into working on season 2. Apparently, according to the reports, Filoni and Favreau were concerned about the Obi-Wan show kind of covering similar ground as The Mandalorian, repeating the same like lone wolf and cub like story sort of thing. With Kenobi coming out of hiding to protect child age Luke Skywalker, and Maul was going to be one of the main villains participating in that hunt for them. Vader was not originally in that version, so they swapped them out along with the creative retooling of it. Yeah, I would have loved to see like live action Maul again. We got that little tiny like peak of him at the end of the Solo movie, but to have Ray Park especially come back, that would be rad as hell.
Yeah, reprise his role. That'd be nice.
Yeah, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Star Wars Rebels, but Clone Wars and Rebels, Maul is a huge part of that storyline, and you actually see a final rematch between Obi-Wan and Maul in Star Wars Rebels. To see that in live action, holy crap, that would have been insane. But oh well,
Not meant to be, I guess.
Yeah, but Sith Inquisitors are also big, badass, scary Sith guys. You could just swap those two out. But so So that'll be cool. What else we got? So this month the Weird Al movie was filming. Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al himself, and they just wrapped a few days ago, I believe. So that's already on the way. It's going to be actually released on the Roku channel. I don't know if they're going to get a wide, theater release or not, but
streaming channel now.
Roku channel, yeah. They originally inherited a lot of free content from the downfall of Quibi.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah. I think they got that like new season of Reno and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. Daniel Radcliffe was in an interview last few days, and he said it's number one. Al Yankovic himself is fantastic. He said he's like the sweetest human being on the planet. He was on the set like every day and helped him with accordion lessons. Also, Evan Rachel Wood and Rainn Wilson are also co-starring in this. Anyway, that's a weird thing that I'm excited for.
I love UHF, so anything with Weird Al on the big screen, I'm all for. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they haven't announced a release date yet, but it looks like they're in post-production now. So,
okay. Well, that's one I hope they do a little bit wider release and then just on Roku.
Yeah,
but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, you never know.
Yep.
You want to talk about weird movies? Nick Cage's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
So
yeah.
Well, you might get a little more excited because the early reviews have it at a rare perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes.
It looks amazing. Him and Pedro Pascal, like that's a good combo.
Yeah, it just debuted at South by Southwest, the film festival, and the early reviews that I'm seeing, they're saying it's insane. Like, first off, the viewing of it at South by Southwest was insane. Like, people were like screaming like they're at a fucking rock concert. But the reviews are saying it actually is a legit, like, solid, crazy, like action thriller comedy sort of. And Nick Cage himself, like, he's personally getting like the best reviews of his career probably, and his performance in particular is fantastic.
Did anybody else here see Pig?
No, I was curious about it.
It was
interesting. Really good.
It was good. I don't know if I would give it all the praise that it's getting, but I still enjoyed it. It was an interesting take.
All right.
What about his Five Nights at Freddy's style movie? Did anybody watch that?
I saw that.
I heard that was a huge letdown, but I was still curious about it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you're going there for the Nicolas Cage performance, he literally does not say a single word in that whole movie. He's a silent protagonist throughout from beginning to end. And it's an interesting take. It really does feel just like they took it straight from Five Nights at Freddy's. But if you're going there for Nicolas Cage, I don't know.
Okay.
It was worth a watch, though. I'm glad I saw it once.
Cool. Definitely watch it once. Another weird one that I am actually very excited for ever since I saw the trailer. Have you heard of Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Oh yeah, Michelle Yeoh looks amazing in that one. Like, I am all aboard. I was wondering if this was going to be part of the MCU, even with their multiverse sort of thing, but
right.
I don't think it relates. But that one, apparently, it's I believe the same director who did Swiss Army Man. So I didn't quite love that one, but just the aesthetic of this one, it has very what was the Jim Carrey Kate Winslet movie that I can't think of the title?
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, I'm getting weird Eternal Sunshine vibes from that one. So
it definitely has this quirky. I mean, it's definitely deals with multiverse. Starts out with Michelle Yeoh's character, and she's just an aging, laundromat owner, and with her like unsatisfying life, she's just down in the dumps. She's at like the the IRS like trying to get her taxes sorted out or something. Like she's in trouble for something, and oh, her husband, played by Ke Huy Quan, who, if you're not familiar with that name, he's been away from the Hollywood scene for quite some time, or film scene for quite some time. That is Short Round from Temple of Doom and Data from the Goonies.
I bet they were both.
Yeah. And apparently he got sent this script and fell absolutely in love with it. And it was enough to make him, make a stride back into the film scene, into the acting world. But yeah, so she's, her laundromat is failing, or she's in trouble with her taxes. Her husband is just like about to serve her divorce papers. And her father, played by legendary actor James Hong. I mean, pull that up on IMDb, you'll see 1,000 things. His health is failing, and I think she has a daughter too, who they have like this, bickering battle with. But anyway, so down on her luck, and all of a sudden, it doesn't really make clear like how it happens in the trailer, but she ends up talking to like her husband from an alternate reality, telling her how she's the key to like saving the world or something. So it's kind of, Meg, like you've been saying for a long time, what you want to see more is like all these stupid stories, whether it's like young adult novels or movies or TV shows, there's always a young chosen one, some teenager or some pretty person in their early 20s at best or something, as the chosen one to save the world all the time. Now you've got Michelle Yeoh.
I'm down.
Yeah. And it looks, I mean, just watch the trailer. It's nuts. And the early reviews are saying it is a fantastic, nutty, surreal sci-fi movie.
That's what I want.
Yep.
So good.
Hell yes. People were also commenting how the tax person who is the IRS person who is auditing her in the trailer is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
And she looks kind of almost unrecognizable. I mean, we can see it's Jamie Lee Curtis, but she's got this weird frumpy get up and haircut and everything.
Weird bowl cut going on.
Yeah. But I guess she was actually noting in an interview recently that it was her idea. Like once she got the role, she was looking up like those awkward family photos online, like everything, like just the frumpiest sort of like office worker, and she found somebody who's like, let me be her, let me be her. and she was kind of vocal about like how Hollywood always wants you to make you tuck in your stomach and look presentable, whatever. She's like, no, I want to look frumpy as hell, and it's her own personal real gut hanging out. It's not like a prosthetic or anything. She's like, no, this is the real me.
She's been fighting about that for a while now, for the last like 10-15 years. She's been
fighting about what?
Having the elder, normalizing getting older as a female actress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having like realistic bodies on film, like not like these models all the time everywhere,
Right.
Well,
yeah.
she, in her younger days, she went with the Hollywood thing, and I remember her saying something about it, being a problem on our mental health because, you have to fit this mold, which I think is like a true story for most of young Hollywood. And, you literally get older and people get pushed out of Hollywood because, now they're aging. Now they don't look good anymore. And it's like, no, like I can still work and I can still be a normal human being and look like a normal human being too. Like this is what happens to your body when you get old.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Same kind of stuff that Carrie Fisher was talking about in the last like 10-20 years.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's like you're either cast young and then you age out, or you're cast old because you already look old.
So either you live to see yourself become the old person, or you die before you get age it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but like I've told Meg, I've always wanted to try acting again and stuff, but you got to work the day job and whatever. But one magical day when I can retire, watching The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs has actually kind of reinvigorated that in me, because I'm watching all of these like cheesy horror movies and B movies and stuff. And after a while, you start to recognize some of the similar, the reoccurring like character actors, like that older guy who always plays like a sheriff or something, or like the guy at the gas station who warns the kids, "Oh, don't go up that way," shit like that. And some of these guys because on the show, like Joe Bob gives the behind the scenes, like, "Oh, this guy so and so, he started in this and this and this, and like he started later in life." Like some of these guys didn't even begin until they're like mid 40s or on, and then they made like 80 movies just because they love doing it. It's like, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be like the crazy old guy who says, "Oh, there are damn kids in our town," blah blah blah, and is happy when they get their heads cut off or whatever. So, anyway.
And then you'll make your money doing the convention circuits.
Yep.
Yes, I will be that old timer.
$50 a photo.
Yeah, pimping my wares. Hell yes. Well, speaking of old horror stuff, well, this isn't exactly horror. Rob Zombie has been working on his Monsters movie.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, and we've been kind of like keeping an eye on it because that was one of Meg and I's recent binge watches on Peacock. It was streaming on. This was one of our biggest questions about the film or the show coming up. Yeah, because it's Rob Zombie, and he's been pimping this movie that he's doing and saying how excited he is, how he's he grew up loving the Munsters as a kid, and so he wanted to pay tribute to them, but still hasn't exactly addressed, is this going to be a Rob Zombie movie, like blood, guts, and gore and all kinds of craziness, but
hard R-rated film?
Yeah, or is it literally going to be like a straight up like
lighthearted,
family friendly, which the Munsters was all about. Yep. So he did come out and make that clear, yes, and announce that it's officially got a PG rating. So this is Rob Zombie toning
it down a little bit.
Yeah, dipping his toe into family fare, which is cool. Eli Roth kind of did the same thing. He did that House with a Clock on Its Walls, which Meg and I actually watched in the theaters, I think back when we had like AMC, the AMC movie pass or something. And that was decent. Yeah,
I didn't know that was Eli Roth. Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get a taste of toned down, family friendly Rob Zombie. And he also announced that along with posting on Instagram. Officially, it was rumored before, but then he officially announced it. Shows a picture of her. Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, is in the cast she's not part of the family. She's not in her Elvira gear. She's playing a real estate agent in the Munsters neighborhood, Barbara Carr, and she. It kind of reminds me of like Edward Scissorhands, how Tim Burton kind of has that dichotomy of like the creepy, spooky, everybody wearing black and crazy Johnny Depp hair and spiders and stripes and whatever. And then the other side of the cast is all the super bright pinks and pastel, people, Avon calling, that stuff. That's what Cassandra Peterson, America. Yeah, that's what Cassandra Peterson looks like in this photo. She's like on the phone in a real estate office wearing a whole pink sort of get up like suit thing. It looks like it's gonna be fun. It looks like it's coming together right. And again, Rob Zombie's like his obsession with the original show. He's like posted all kinds of stuff about how like walkthroughs of the set and how he's like done up they've rebuilt the entire Munsters mansion like to the T, like exactly how it was in the show. So
did they do that on the Universal backlot? Because that would be interesting if they kept it there and made it part of the Universal tour. No,
he's filming somewhere out in Europe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I forget where, but I guess somewhere it's probably cheap to film. Yeah, I forget where exactly it was, but
probably somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, yeah. A crazy one that I did not see coming. Well, there's a couple of them. First off, I Am Legend is getting a sequel. Did you hear about
Yeah,
that?
that's interesting considering Will Smith's character blew the fuck up at the end
Well,
of that
Will
film.
Smith or Vincent Price? Which version are they doing a sequel of?
Yes, they dug up Vincent Price.
They could be doing the deep fake. You don't know. They could do that now.
To terrorize y'all's neighborhood. No, yeah, Will Smith is back along with Michael B. Jordan, co-starring in this, and they're of course tight-lipped about how Will Smith is coming back and everything. But they said,
Yeah,
um,
in the novels, the character doesn't die, so
right, yeah. And I remember I actually owned the DVD back in the day when I Am Legend came out, and they had on there the alternate ending where he actually lives. It's pretty much the same, except he just gets out of the house in time. Like they convince him, like to come with them to the safe zone or wherever they end up. So maybe they're just making that officially canon because enough people have seen it. I don't know.
Maybe they'll show that as like the intro of this movie. Like, guess what? This is what really happened. And
Maybe, or that, yeah, he made it out in time. I don't know. But yeah, interesting. It's been like 15 years since that movie came out.
at least
have we had any good zombie media that wasn't Walking Dead related?
I was about to go, and then not Walking Dead. I don't know.
I don't think we haven't had any good. There was that awful Army of the Dead.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said good, so that nullifies Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And we've had like approximate stuff like Mayhem. Wasn't that movie with Stephen Yeun where
That was cool.
people kind of get like a rage virus in the office, in a giant office building? There's two movies.
I didn't see that one.
There was two movies similar to that came out at the same time or in close proximity to each other. Mayhem, and another one was like the Something Project.
Yeah, I watched the Something Project. What was it called? But that one was actually really good.
The Something Project.
That's my main reason for watching it.
Yeah.
And, I like that one.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Mayhem, I definitely recommend that one. That was good times.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephen Yeun and Samara Weaving. Yeah.
Let's put that on.
Yeah. And another one I did not see coming, but I guess I should have because they're never going to let this go. Another Alien movie is happening. This time from Fede Alvarez, who did that Evil Dead reboot movie a few years back. Now, this is not even counting last year. FX announced that Noah Hawley, who did Fargo on FX, he's making a new Alien show on Hulu. So we're gonna have a show on Hulu. We're apparently gonna have a new film, and Fede Alvarez is gonna be doing this one, and Ridley Scott back to produce. So no idea what it's gonna be about. If they're gonna try to rope Sigourney Weaver in it at all, or who knows? But more Alien stuff. Yep.
They're never gonna stop rebooting. Like it's the big three sci-fi from the 80s: Alien, Predator, and
Terminator.
Yeah.
They're never gonna stop rebooting them until they get it right.
I still haven't seen that last Terminator. I keep telling myself one of these days I'm gonna hit play on that one, but I just can't quite get there.
It wasn't bad. I watched it.
Either.
I mainly wanted to see it for Linda Hamilton. To see
that's the entire reason why I watched it, is because she was back, and it was not bad.
Yeah,
it was not good, but it was not bad.
Yeah. The other big one in the 80s, which we did get a reboot, and I did see this, Robocop. Did you ever see that Robocop reboot?
Yeah,
it was a TV show, right? It wasn't a film.
No, it was a
or
film.
Was it was a film?
Saw it in theaters. It was fine, but kind of forgettable. Very much like the Colin Farrell Total Recall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
Colin Farrell and Jessica Biel.
I actually hated that one.
I actually didn't mind it. I weirdly didn't mind it because it was different enough. I mean, it didn't really deal with the mutants and Mars and everything, that it was just like just take away the name Total Recall and call it something else. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Yeah. Plus, I remember I really liked the production design in that. Weirdly, I think it was because I was like balls deep in Mass Effect at the time, and it had a very similar look to all the tech and stuff in that. Anyway, but yeah, I would like to see. Hey, RoboCop falls under MGM. New RoboCop TV show
There you go.
at Amazon. Make it happen, Amazon. I'm down for that.
Did you guys
And
get my
fuck
text?
it, since we're never getting Dread, we're never getting a sequel to Dread. Just have fucking what's his name play RoboCop?
Carl Urban.
Carl
Carl
Urban.
Hell yeah.
Just have Carl Urban play him.
Yeah. Oh, that was another one. Boys season 3 trailer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
one. It looks interesting. I wonder what they're gonna do with that. With that kind of reveal they have going on there.
Yeah. So I mean, right from the get-go, you see he's getting powers. Maybe that's kind of the end game of the show where he ends up just annihilating the soups and himself along with him. Who knows? Nice slow reveal of Soldier Boy, Jensen Ackles at the end.
Yes,
I was like, Meg, that's Jensen. And he's coming out of some sort of cryo chamber. He's got his big woolly man beard and everything.
Yep, out of the deep freeze.
Yeah, good stuff. Couple last things here I got. Deadpool 3 officially got a director, so that's still coming along. Sean Levy, who, if you've seen what he's done recently, director of Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, director of The Atom Project with Ryan Reynolds on Netflix. Which I was still curious about that. I haven't seen.
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good movie. Kind of a good kind of heartfelt sort of almost coming of age story to a certain degree.
okay.
But it was nice.
All right. So yeah, Deadpool 3 chugging along. Still not much more news on it than that.
Yeah, I think the original director for 1 and 2 is working on. He's actually doing the Andy Weir books, the last 2 Andy Weir books. He has
really?
optioned them for films.
Oh, okay.
So both Artemis and Project Hail Mary are in the works to get to films.
Didn't you say you just started reading that, the latest one?
Project Hail Mary, yeah.
Yeah.
I've read Artemis multiple times. Well,
Okay.
listened to it because it's Rosario Dawson's voice. So
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
I've listened to it multiple times. But
Very cool.
Artemis is not, they don't have as much information on that coming out. So, but for Project Hail Mary, we were just talking about him earlier, Penguin from Batman.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell is attached to this to lead.
Okay,
So
cool.
that one seems to be more further along than Artemis is, even though Artemis is a couple years older. But he does have both books purchased as film options.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm curious about Hail Mary. It's just, A, I don't have time to read another book when I have a shelf full of them. And B, it's still in hardback. And if I were to purchase it, which I likely would want to do, I'd wait until it's out on paperback.
Get the audiobook.
mass market.
Audiobook?
Yeah,
I've got audiobook credits. I could
maybe you can get it.
pick that
Yeah,
up.
I'm currently listening to the audiobook now. It took me a little bit longer to get into than Artemis and Martian did,
Hmm.
but the more I've listened to it, it's pretty solid.
It's picking up. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Super Nintendo World. Did you hear about that?
Jesus.
That's over.
Yeah,
Universal Studios, right?
that's a thing that's happening.
That is a thing that is happening. I mean, they have one that opened in Japan a year or two ago.
Mhm.
Last year. Yeah. And now they're coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. They confirmed Super Nintendo World, a full Nintendo theme park, coming to the US in 2023 next year.
Honestly, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner.
Yeah.
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 So they already started building that then, if it's coming next year even?
I got to imagine it's under construction. The immersive land will be a visual spectacle of vibrant colors and architectural ingenuity located within a newly expanded area of the theme park. So a part of Universal Studios.
Right. Yeah, I think it's on the lower lot, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe featuring a groundbreaking ride and interactive areas to be enjoyed by the whole family. Themed shopping and dining will enhance the entire experience. While the park is broadly Nintendo themed, the focus so far has been on the Mario franchise with attractions, rides, stores themed after Mario, Toad, and Yoshi, the rest of the gang, as well as rides modeled after popular series like Mario Kart.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
it would have to be on the lower lot because there is zero space on the upper lot, and there's
yeah,
unless they take some parts of the back lot,
Right.
and I don't think
Yeah.
they do that.
maybe, yeah. It's been so long since Meg and I went there as they were just finishing building the whole Potter section. So we haven't even
Yeah,
seen that.
I haven't either. The last time I was there was when that was in the middle of construction.
Yeah.
It's nice. I took Shannon there for her birthday a couple years ago because she's a huge Harry Potter fan, and it's really well done. I think getting the money from Harry Potter has allowed them to really build up their infrastructure across the park because a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of things look like they've been kind of improved upon, and they look a lot better since the last time I went there pre Harry Potter. So I
Yeah,
imagine it's only getting better with that.
that's cool. Yeah. I liked the whole Simpsons area, although it was, by that point was already quite dated. Like the ride kind of made us both a little queasy. Just 'cause
It's
I'm
old
like,
school 3D.
yeah, old school 3D.
I'm still boycotting the Simpsons parts of the park just because they took away my beloved Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wasn't it ET before Back to the Future though?
ET was a separate area.
Yeah,
Oh, I
ET
thought that
was
was
its
the
own
same.
ride.
That was over, if I remember right, that was over by like the backdraft
Yeah, it was on the
building
lower
and
lot.
yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Back in our day.
I think ET became the Mummy ride.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just bring back the T2 experience. That's all. T2 3D.
Yes.
Bring it back.
We don't need the fucking Transformers bullshit. Just give us back T2.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even that old of a ride. That only lasted like 10 years or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, because
Oh.
I remember going there as a teenager. I was one of the first. I had a pass for the preview version of it. Like it wasn't released yet, and I was one of the tester people that got to see it early.
Nice.
It opening date. Oh no, that's Japan. Universal Studios Hollywood. T2 3D Battle Across Time. It opened May 6th, 1999 and closed December 31st, 2012.
Oh wow. Only
Yeah, so
3
just
years.
over like 13
Wow.
years. And yeah, so Google Maps already has Super Nintendo World in production. It's definitely at the bottom of the lot. It
Okay.
is right by the new Jurassic World area.
All right.
So
Cool.
you turn the corner from Jurassic World and the Transformers ride, and there's going to be Super Nintendo World. It's actually pretty small
I was gonna say
looking
there's
at
not
it.
a lot of space there at all,
Okay.
so I wonder, what they're gonna.
It's going to be tiny.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Probably just a castle with one ride and maybe like some shops in there
Yeah.
by the looks of it.
All right then. Only other thing I got in my headlines. This is an old one, but I think it's still worth celebrating since we've been gone for a month. After all that talk of the future of Futurama, John DiMaggio did officially come back. So Bender's back, baby.
Yeah, we said it was just negotiation tactics. We knew there was no chance he was not coming back.
Yeah, Fox does the same thing all the time whenever the Simpsons cast is up for renewal. Like contract negotiations have to happen, but in the end, they're going to bend over for them because like 4 people run the entire, 1,000 character show.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
That was it for me too. I was gonna make that last Bender comment, but and then the one last thing I saw, though I'm not a huge fan. I guess One Piece is getting its live action series or movie too. I read somewhere.
Isn't that on Netflix?
Live action? I don't know. Maybe.
think I've heard that before, but I don't remember where it was coming. I have never actually seen One Piece, so I think I've seen like bits before, but I've never like taken the dive. That's one of those that I always hear is amazing. I really want to make an effort to dip into more anime, but it's like there's it's like when I go to the comic book shop and I see the wall of Marvel, and it's like, where do you even start?
Yeah.
So I definitely need like some like anime fanboys to just give me like a short list of like name your top series, because all I really have on there right now is like Cowboy Bebop, the Ghost in the Shell movies I've seen. I still haven't watched the show. You know,
I think probably like Dragon Ball Z, One Punch Man, Berserk. Those are kind of like the general accessible ones that everybody would recommend.
Yeah.
but again, it depends on what your taste is, because every
Yeah.
time I've seen bits of Dragon Ball Z, I'm just like, I can't watch guys yelling at each other on a battlefield for 30 minutes and then 2 seconds of action at the end and credits,
And
which is
that's
kind of what Attack on Titan turned into. And I was
Yeah.
I really was invested in like the world of Attack on Titan, and I still kind of want to go back and like try to get through it, but
It gets
so
pretty
much.
fucking bonkers in the later seasons. Like
Okay.
not action wise, but just they go heavy into the weird.
Huh.
Okay.
All right.
Fooly Cooley.
But-
That's another one on my top, you know.
Oh, I tried that one. Wasn't a huge fan, but I only saw I think the first season. So who knows?
It's very out there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Watch Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
I still
that's what I wanna see.
right, Castlevania. I gotta add that to my list.
I will still champion that to this day. It was an excellent anime. And in the same vein, we had a trailer come out yesterday or today. Tekken is getting an anime, a
Oh,
new anime, and it looks pretty good.
Okay,
cool.
But I actually did have one more bit of news
go for it.
that I think I told you about, but this came out like a couple of days after we podcasted last. This
Mhm.
this is making me very hopeful, and we talked about this the moment the Bethesda Xbox merger happened,
Mhm.
but there are early talks that Fallout New Vegas 2 is happening.
I do remember this. You telling me this?
So Microsoft is wanting to fast track a sequel to New Vegas and get it either by Bethesda Game Studios themselves or by ZeniMax or Obsidian. So
I'm
one of
down.
the three studios will be rushing a New Vegas 2.
I am down. I am
Yeah.
so in for that. They haven't announced any other Fallout projects, have they? Since
No,
4?
well-
I mean, since 76, actually, I think was the
Well-
last one.
76, but that was done by another studio, and it was basically Fallout 4 with multiplayer code just spaghettied into it.
Hmm.
It plays very much like Fallout 4. It's like a expansion or a mod of Fallout 4, but forced into multiplayer.
Okay.
It's in a good place now that if you wanted to play it, Tony, I think it would be fun for you to play, because when it launched, it was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I remember
It
you
was
telling
an
me.
absolute disaster. But now it's like 3 or 4 years on, and they've released enough patches and DLCs and expansions to it that it's in a good place. There's companions now. There's NPCs finally, after fucking 2 years of having no NPCs in the whole fucking game. There's good quests that you can go through, and the end game isn't the same grindy bullshit that it used to be. So it's in a good place if you wanted to play it now. But other than that, Bethesda Game Studios is so far backed up with their announced projects, with Starfield coming out at the end of this year
Right,
and
Oh yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6 coming out after that. There's not room in Fallout for at least like between 5 to 7 or 10 years.
Wow.
So it's going to be released in 10 years. And Fallout New Vegas 2 will have the same Gamebryo engine that Fallout New Vegas 1 had.
Probably not. Likely they'll
before you walk into any door, save your game just in case it crashes.
don't walk over any skeleton remains because you will get rocketed into the sky. But Bethesda is making a new engine. They're finally making a complete new engine for Starfield. So any Bethesda games coming forward will probably use that engine.
Run off of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But from what it sounds like, likely it's going to be New Vegas 2 will be developed at a different studio under the Bethesda umbrella because the main Bethesda is so backed up with its already huge slate of games that they've got coming out.
Gotcha.
Like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 are big enough that they literally take like 1,000 people teams to develop these games.
Jeez.
But that's the only little bit that I had left.
Good times.
Cool.
Also, Hogwarts Legacy got a trailer and that looks amazing and I want it right now.
What was that? Was that just PS5?
No, I think it's a PC. I hope it's not PS5 exclusive.
I know they did show previews on my PS5, so I know it'll probably be at least on there as well.
Looks like
PS5, PS4, yeah, and PC. So it'll be available. Even Switch too is getting a version of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I want it bad. I've been wanting an open world Harry Potter game for fucking ever.
Oh, Shannon will love that. I'll have to show her that preview.
As much as like part of me doesn't want to give money towards anything where Rowling still gets a cut, but I mean, I think it's a game. It's enough removed. I'm still gonna play this shit. You know.
Yeah.
And then I'll donate to a cause somewhere to balance out.
Donate to a good LGBT cause.
There you go. All right, guys. Should we seal the deal on this here?
I think we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
Very, very thrilling responses. I'm impressed.
It's over. Turn it off. We're done. How's that?
Fuck it. We'll do it live, or we'll do it not live, actually. Thank you, everybody, for joining after a month off, but it's a good one. A lot of good. We're packed with good stuff coming. I'm excited.
A lot of good content coming up in the next like month and a half to 2 months.
Hell yes.
Moon Knight, Obi-Wan,
etc.
Strange New Worlds,
etc.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. This is Tony.
This is Todd.
I was Andrew.
Adios.
Good night.